Welcome to the Fitness Beginner Podcast, where we help you take the first steps on your fitness journey. Whether you're new to working out or you're looking to get back into it, we've got you covered with tips, tricks, and inspiration to help you reach your goals. So grab your workout gear and let's get started. And we are live. Welcome back with Murphy Mac to another episode of the Fitness Beginner Podcast. It's Monday. Hope y'all had a great start to your Monday, to your week. Hope y'all started off on the right note. Go ahead, start your workout on Monday. That's the way it's easier to do it for the rest of the week. It's easier to go once you go ahead and go that first time that week, and then you already set yourself up for success for that week. But yeah, we got a pretty cool podcast today. And the reason I say it's pretty cool is because we're going to be starting a new series I want to do. And the new series is the top 10 series. So I don't think I'm going to do it every week. I'll probably do it like every other week or maybe once a month, just so y'all don't get tired of them and get bored of them. But the way it's going to work is we're just going to take the top 10 exercises or the top 10 maybe nutrition advice or something to that effect for each body part, and we're going to make that an episode. So today's topic is top 10 arm exercises to build your arms in the gym. So today we're going to talk about not just biceps, not just triceps, but we're going to talk about the whole arm. So biceps, triceps, and the forearm. We're going to kind of group them together. And maybe later, I may even break it down one more level and just do top 10 bicep exercises, top 10 tricep exercises, and so on. But yeah, we're going to do these. So like I'll probably do top 10 leg exercises, top 10 ab exercises, little things like that, like top 10 lists, anything that I can think of. We're going to make it like a little series. I probably won't do it every week because I don't want to, if you don't like this format, I don't want you to get bored of them. So we'll probably do it like every other podcast or maybe once a month. We'll see. I don't know what I'm going to do yet. I'm just going to change it up. We're going to play with it. That being said, we're also going to change up the format of the podcast a little bit. I mentioned last week that I was kind of running out of quick tips. So I want to change the quick tips segment of the podcast to today we're doing news, like fitness news, anything that's new going on in the fitness world. That's what I think I want to do. So that's what I have for today planned. And if I like it, we'll keep doing that. If not, we'll change it up. So y'all got to let me know. If you like the fitness news, like the what's happening today in the fitness world, y'all let me know if y'all like that segment. And that way we can keep y'all updated on what's going on out there. Like any new studies, any new technology, any new trends, anything like that that's going on. I want to touch on it on the podcast. And I want to do that instead of the quick tip segment because I feel like the whole podcast is a quick tip. Like the whole podcast is tips and tricks. So it was kind of pointless to have a quick tip segment at the front of it. So I think we're going to do away with that, but I don't know yet. We'll see. We're going to play around with it. I want to try some different segments, see what I like, what I don't like. And if y'all have any suggestions, y'all let me know. If you don't like a certain one, hey, let me know that too, so we can figure it out. That way we can provide the most value for y'all as possible. So yeah, before we're going to jump into the podcast, I'm going to update you about myself. Today marks 12 days away from the Ironman. So we officially started our taper week. My workouts are going to be a lot easier this week and next week leading up to the Ironman. This is just to get my body re-healed and not really break down any muscles before the Ironman. Because at this point, all the endurance that I'm gonna have is already built. Like I've already built all the endurance I can. There's nothing I can do in these last 12 days. So it's all about getting your body ready and prepared instead of trying to get some more gains in at the end because it's too late at this point. So yeah, that's gonna lead us to the new segment of the podcast, which is fitness news. And today I want to tell y'all about something I've been seeing online. I've been seeing a lot of advertisements for it. Y'all may or may not have seen it. So they had this new AI technology that will use an app on your phone to scan your body, and it can scan your body fat percentage, your body mass index, things like that. The industry standard for this is like a DEXA scan. That's what they call it, and it's a very expensive. Like you got to go to a clinic or somewhere to do it. It probably costs you like $150 or so just to get a scan. And that machine can cost like $80,000. So it's not something you would just have for yourself. Or you could also use skin calipers. So like you could test your fat on each part of your body and then do like a calculation, and it'll tell you what your body fat percentage and stuff is. But now they have it on your phone. An app on your phone can literally scan your body using your camera. It'll use like the depth sensors in your cameras, and it'll give you body fat percentage, and it'll also tell you like your body's makeup. Now, with this being said, I don't know how accurate it is. It's probably not very accurate if I had to guess, but that's still some pretty cool technology that you can do on your smartphone. And it'll probably give you a good idea, like a good rough estimate of what you're at. I wouldn't trust it 100%. It's definitely not going to be as accurate as a DEXA scan, but it's a cool tool that you can literally use for free. Or I don't know, the app may be paid. I'm sure there's multiple apps out there now that do it, but the one I'm looking at specifically is called Tempo. But yeah, that's pretty neat. I hadn't tried it myself, so I can't really speak on it, but I've been seeing a lot of advertisements for it, and I thought this was pretty cool, just to see the new technology that's coming into fitness. You can literally get a body scanner at home. You don't even have to go to the store or the doctor's office or wherever to get scanned. So it's pretty neat. I'm sure it'll get more accurate over time and become more and more useful. I'm sure it's like in the beta phases right now. But still pretty neat to see how AI is getting implemented into fitness. And honestly, I think it'll be something that we see more and more of. Like I think there's going to be more and more AI that we start to see when it comes to like workout plans, like writing plans for you, writing diets for you, things like that. I can see AI coming in and kind of taking over that whole personal trainer, fitness coach kind of thing. Like it can kind of be your own fitness coach in a way. It can tell you what workouts to do, when to do them, how hard to do them, how many reps to do, all that. So yeah, AI is here and it's here to stay. So you might as well hop on the train before it's too late. So yeah, that's the fitness news for the podcast. That's going to lead us into the main topic for the podcast, which is top 10 arm exercises to build muscle, to build growth, to get those gains in the gym. And these are going to be, in my opinion, none of this is science backed or scientifically checked. This is just exercises that I like to use and that I typically do in the gym that has worked for me. Some of you may disagree with some of these, some of you probably will agree. So, at least it's number one, and this is in no order by any means. And this is, like I said, this is going to be biceps, triceps, and your forearms. So we're just going to hit all of them at once. But yeah, the first exercise is the barbell bicep curl. So it targets the biceps and it puts emphasis on muscle growth through controlled movements. So how do you do about barbell bicep curl? So you want to stand with your feet shoulder width apart, grip the barbell about shoulder width apart, and then you'll curl the weight upwards, keeping your elbows in kind of tight, and you'll curl it up towards like your face. So, how not to do this exercise? You want to avoid swinging. You don't want to like use momentum to lift the weight. Don't rock back and forth. This is going to reduce how much tension you're putting on your bicep. It's going to reduce that muscle engagement. So this lift is ideal for intermediate to advanced lifters aiming to increase bicep strength and size. The good thing that I like about the barbell curl is that you can load it up with a lot of weight. If you really need to put strength to your biceps, you can overload your biceps with a barbell because you can put more weight on it. It's very steady, so it's easy for you to curl up and down. It's not like a dumbbell. Dumbbells will kind of fall all over the place when you're trying to lift them. Number two, the tricep dip. This engages the triceps. It promotes muscle mass and strength. How do you do a tricep dip? You want to use parallel bars. So hold yourself up with your arms extended. You want to lower your body by bending your elbows until you get about a 90-degree angle, and then you'll push back through your triceps to return to that starting position. How not to do this? Avoid leaning too far forward and avoid flaring your elbows out. So when you lean forward, that incorporates more of your chest into the exercise, and it takes the the stress off your triceps. So if you're trying to hit arms, try to keep your body more upright, and this will put more emphasis on the triceps. And this is ideal for beginner all the way to advanced lifters. They even have machines for this that'll help beginners out. If you can't do one of your own body weight, they'll have machines that'll kind of help pick you up a little bit. Most big like box gyms will have one of these machines. Number 3, the next exercise is hammer curls. So these are going to target your biceps and your forearms at the same time. So it'll contribute to overall arm development. So how do you do this lift? You're going to choose dumbbells. You're going to hold them by your side, palms facing each other. So like palms facing to your body, not facing forward, not back or out. Palms facing to your body. And then curl the weight up towards your shoulders, keeping your arms in that neutral position. I mean, keeping your hands in that neutral position. So don't supinate your hand in as you come up. How not to do this: avoid excessive wrist movement and swinging motion. So again, don't rock your body. It's going to create momentum, and it's going to take the tension off of your bicep, and because you're using that momentum, it's going to make it easier for you, which is not what we're looking to do. And this is ideal for all levels of skills. I mean, especially those seeking balanced arm development. This is a good one to do. You can actually do hammer curls across your body too. So instead of coming straight out in front of you, you can go beside your body, like to your opposite shoulder. Number 4, skull crushers. So skull crushers are going to focus on your triceps. They're going to aid in muscle growth and strength. How do you do a skull crusher? You lay on a bench, and most people do them on a flat bench, but I actually like to incline my bench a little bit to about 30 degrees or so. So lay on an incline bench, get an easy bar, or they also make skull crusher bars that you can use. Some gyms will have them. The Y that I work out at actually has one. So yeah, you get the bar about shoulder width apart, hold it your arms straight out above your head, and then you're going to lower the bar towards your forehead and extend your arms back up. So bend at that elbow, lowering the bar like towards your forehead. That's why it's called a skull crusher, because the weight's coming towards your skull, and then you'll extend it back out using your elbows straight above you. So how not to do this exercise: avoid locking your elbows out completely, and avoid using too much weight. Because if you use too much weight, when you lower that weight down, you're going to knock yourself out that bar. You're going to hit yourself in the head, and it's not going to be a fun day for you. And then when you're lifting the weight back up all the way, you don't have to lock your elbows all the way out. Just get them out until you're almost extended, and then go ahead and go right back in it. That way you don't take the tension off of your tricep. You want to keep that tension on the tricep the whole entire time without taking it off. So don't lock them all the way out. And this lift is good for intermediate to advanced lifters. Somebody that's really looking to isolate those triceps. This is a good skull crusher is a good one. Number 5, concentration curls. So these are going to target the biceps. They're going to aid in developing that peak, and then and a little definition. Everybody wants that peak. That way you can see your tricep through your shirt. You know how you do this? You sit on the bench, hold a dumbbell with one hand, and curl the weight towards your shoulder while keeping the upper arm stationary. So what I like to do is I'll sit on the side of the bench, and I kind of lean over and pick the weight up off the floor. So think curl the weight from the floor up into your body. So like towards your opposite shoulder. It's kind of hard to explain without actually showing you how to do it. So how not to do this? Avoid using momentum and swinging the weight. This is just going to take the emphasis off the bicep, which is not what we're trying to do. And then this exercise is good for all levels, especially for those aiming to focus at that bicep peak and get that bicep development. So number 6, the tricep rope push down. This is a good one. Effective for isolating the triceps, and it encourages muscle definition and strength. Most people, when you think of a tricep exercise, this is the one you think of. This is the one most people do. And you don't have to do it with a rope. You can also do it with a straight bar or a slanted bar, whatever you want to do it with. It's all the same concept, just with a different attachment on the cable. So you want to attach the rope to the cable machine, grip the rope with your palms facing down, and then push the rope downwards until your arms are fully extended. So like you're pushing against the cable, you're pushing it down, and then allow the cable to come back up. But don't just drop the weight and let it come all the way back up. You want to resist it on the way back up. Don't just push it down and then let it fly back up on you. You want to resist it all the way back up. That way you're still working the tricep the whole time. You're keeping that tension on the muscle. So how not to do this? Avoid leaning too far forward and then avoid using excessive body movement. Again, just like any lift, you don't want to use a bunch of momentum because we're trying to isolate the triceps. And when you bring in momentum, you take that isolation away from the triceps. This workout is ideal for anybody, really, beginners all the way to advanced. It's excellent for developing the triceps for strength and definition. Number 7, preacher curls. This one targets the biceps, emphasizes the long head of the muscle, aiding in size and definition. So you sit at a preacher curl bench. It's hard to explain, but it's basically a bench that has elbow pads on it. Like you'll put your elbow on this pad. This way your arms cannot move. You can only bend your arms at your biceps. So you'll sit at the preacher bench, grip the easy bar, or you can use dumbbells, but most people use the easy bar with an underhand grip and then curl the way upwards, keeping your arms stationary. That's what the pad's for. It don't allow for that momentum to come into play. So avoid locking out your elbows all the way and avoid using excessive weights. This is ideal for intermediate to advanced lifters, especially those targeting the bicep peak. Yeah, the preacher curl, you'll see a lot of people doing these. Most gyms have a preacher curl bench. So yeah, the whole idea is that it takes away the body, like the momentum. You can't really rock and use momentum to lift the weight up because your arms are in a fixed position. Like your elbows are on a pad. So you can only bend your arm at your elbow. So that keeps that tension on your bicep the whole time. Number 8, tricep overhead extension. This engages the triceps, emphasizes muscle endurance and definition. How do you do tricep overhead extension? So you want to get a dumbbell, preferably one of heavier weight because you're going to use both arms to lift the dumbbell. Get a dumbbell or an easy bar and hold it over your head. Sit down on the bench. You can do it standing. I prefer doing it sitting. So sit on the bench, hold the easy bar or the dumbbell straight above your head and slowly lower the weight behind your head. And then you want to extend your arms back up. So bend your arms at your elbow behind your head. So lower the dumbbell almost backwards and then extend it back using your triceps. That's how you do it. How not to do it: avoid arching your back or allowing your elbows to flare out. So try to squeeze your elbows in. It's gonna be hard, especially if you're not that flexible. But keep your elbows as tight as you can in. Like think squeeze. You want to squeeze your head, and then don't arch your back too much. Don't let it. If you lean back a little bit, that weight will pull you back, and you'll literally fall backwards. So don't do that. And this is ideal for all levels, particularly beneficial for those developing the triceps for strength and stability. Number 9, this exercise is for your forearms. It's going to be wrist curls. So it's going to target your forearm. It's going to aid in grip strength and forearm development. How do you do it? Sit on the bench, hold a barbell with an underhand grip, and curl the weight upwards, flexing the wrist. So I like to put my elbows and forearms on the bench and then hold the bar off the side of the bench and just curl your wrist in like towards your body. And this is gonna work those forearms. Trust me, you'll feel it really quick. It don't take a lot of weight on these. Normally you'll do a lot of reps and less weight on these. How not to do it: avoid using excessive weight because that's going to lead you to compromised form. You're going to bring in some momentum and things like that. So, like I said, you don't need a lot of weight. Just do a little bit of weight and you can add more reps if you need to. Who can do this lift? Literally anybody can do this. It's made for all levels. It's beneficial for those in sports. This one's huge for sports. Grip strength is huge. It's great to work your forearms. Number 10, last but not least, we're going to go close grip bench press. This is a exercise that I think is very slept on when it comes to working the triceps. but at the same time, it's also going to work your chest. So it's going to promote the overall upper body strength and size. So how do you do close grip bench press? It's literally like a regular bench press. You're just going to get a closer grip. So lie on the bench, grip the barbell with your hands closer than shoulder width apart. You don't have to put them together or like not even thumb width apart. Get them a little wider, just inside, shoulder width apart, and lower the weight down towards your chest and then pushing it back up, just like you would a regular bench press. That's the only thing that's different here is your grip. So how not to do this lift: avoid flaring your elbows out and avoid bouncing the weight off your chest. So control the weight all the way down and all the way back up. And then try to keep your elbows tucked in by your sides. Don't flare them straight out. This lift is ideal for the intermediate to the advanced lifters seeking to enhance triceps and chest development. This one's good for the triceps because you can load up a lot of weight on the bar when you do these. You can do a lot more weight with these than you could like a tricep overhead extension. So it's good for building strength. Yeah, and those are my top 10 arm exercises in my opinions. Y'all let me know what y'all think about them. I know there's someone here that I probably missed. It's definitely not all the exercises I do when it comes to arms. I do plenty more. These are just the 10 that I like to do the most that I think is going to help you get the most gains. So, yeah, that's going to lead us to the fitness quote of the podcast today. And today's quote is short and sweet, to the point, and it goes, "The body achieves what the mind believes." I'll read it again. The body achieves what the mind believes. So the way I understand this is that you got to believe it first before you can ever actually do it. So like you got to get your mind right, get your mind prepared, and get your mind set on a goal before your body is ever going to think about doing it. So if you're not mentally prepared, you're never going to be physically prepared. Your body's not just going to wake up and go to the gym by itself in the morning. That's your mind. You got to get your mind in that mode to be disciplined to go to the gym in the morning before you go to work. So pretty much the way I read this is get your mind right first and then get your body right, because your body can't do or achieve anything without your mind establishing it first. So work on your mind just as much, if not more, than working on your body. That's huge. Say you spend most of your time at the gym working on like your physical fitness, you need to spend just as much time at home or wherever working on your mental fitness. This is why I have a morning routine in the mornings to get me prepared mentally for my day. So that's why I do the meditations. That's why I do the daily devotions. That's why I do my journal and things like that in the morning to get me going, to get me mentally prepared to attack the day. You got to get that mind right. So that's it for the podcast today. Thank y'all so much for hanging out. Hope y'all enjoyed the podcast. Hope y'all learned from some of the podcast. Hopefully you learned a new exercise and you're going to try it in your next workout, your next arm day workout. Y'all give it a try. Let me know what you think about my list. Hey, if you agree with my list, let me know. Or if you don't, tell me what you would swap out and why you would swap it out. And let's have a conversation about it. I would like to hash it out why I think my top 10 list is what it is. And then we can go from there. But yeah, if you have a list, top 10 list that you want me to do on a podcast, let me know and I'll give y'all my opinion. So, like, for example, we'll do top 10 leg exercises or top 10 ab exercises or whatever, top 10 fitness apps, top 10 protein sources, top 10 supplements, anything like that. We're gonna do this as a new little series. Probably do it every other week or so. I don't know yet. We're going to play around with it. Let me know what you thought about the new fitness news segment of the podcast. We're going to change it up from the quick tip. Hopefully, y'all like it and we'll keep coming. Or if you have any other segment that you want me to add, let me know. Maybe we can incorporate it into the podcast. I'm always looking to change things up, make the podcast better, make it more beneficial for y'all. For that way, y'all can take more from it and learn more. That's the whole idea of the podcast. I always say if one person gets one thing from every podcast episode, then it was successful. So with that being said, subscribe to the podcast, leave a review. Tell your friends about it. Let them know if they're starting their fitness journey. Maybe they can learn something from it. Hopefully you did too. So thanks for tuning in. Y'all tune in next week for another episode of the Fitness Beginner Podcast. Peace, love, protein. We out. Thanks for tuning in to the Fitness Beginner Podcast. We hope you found today's episode helpful and inspiring. Remember to always start small, set realistic goals, and most importantly, have fun. Don't forget to tune in next week for more tips and advice on how to kickstart your fitness journey. Until then, stay active and stay healthy.